Hi there, welcome to Flowing in Dreams. This is going to be my new makeup releases for October. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. In this video, I want to talk you through the new makeup releases that stood out to me in the past couple of weeks. I have to pre-film this about a week in advance, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be missing some things in here, but I will be traveling and there's just no time for me otherwise to get this video up, so that's why I'm filming it about a week in advance. And that usually means like I very often feel like around the time that I'm sitting down to film this video is when you get a lot of announcements, so I'm definitely hoping that I'm not missing out too many things, but if I am missing things, then I will be mentioning them in November, of course. So if you're watching this video and like, why is she mentioning this, that could be why. And first things first, we're just gonna kick things off straight away with a new tinted moisturizer from Gucci. So did they already do foundation? I think they did. But yeah, I love a good tinted moisturizer. Give me that over foundation any time of day. And it comes in quite a few shades. Does it say how many shades it comes in? 20 shades, apparently, which with brands, I feel that they think that because it's a skin tint and it's sheer, it doesn't have to be your exact match per se, which I kind of believe is true for the most part, but not all the time. So I would like to see some more shades in this, especially for such a luxurious brand as Gucci. Like, they can do better, I feel. To be quite fair, there aren't that many deep shades. It's a lot of beige. It's a lot of light stuff. And I do think, like, looking at these shades, I don't think the lighter shades are necessarily going to be the best for people with very fair skin. Like, on the swatches that they've included on Trend Mood, some of the lighter shades are still too dark for the person's hand that they're swatched on. So I'm not sure how that's gonna go. Not something that I need in my life, but I think it's okay for the brand. Then Natasha Denona announced 2 new eyeshadow palettes. The Ice Sculpt Texture and Tone palette. It seems to just have different undertones. So one is incredibly warm toned and the other one is a little bit more like a basic neutral. They seem to be mainly matte palettes. It's giving Biba vibes to me. Who else feels that way? It's like a larger version of the Biba. And then one of them seems to be completely matte and the other one does seem to have like 2 shimmers in. We all know how I feel about mostly matte palettes. They're just not my cup of tea. I don't really enjoy them all that much. I don't think I need a million different mattes to make my eyeshadow palette work. For me, like when I'm doing my makeup, I really just need good shimmers because that's what's going to make the look stand out. And so these are basic but boring but good, and I can see why they would do something like this. It's just not for me. I think if you're a makeup artist, like if you're someone who does a lot of bridal makeup, these palettes are going to be your jam. I just know. And if these are magnetic and you can play around with the layouts for these, they're a game changer if you are a professional working in the makeup industry. So for quite a few of the releases this time around, I only have videos. So I'll just insert them as they are. This is the new Gourman Girls Trapped eyeshadow palette. This looks pretty. It's very sort of brighter things for fall. But with Gourmand Girls, I've now tried 2 of their palettes and I enjoy them, but there's always something about them that doesn't quite come together for me. So I've tried the Frozen Kiss and the Bitten palette that were released in the past year. They haven't been releasing as much as they used to, I feel. And this Trap palette, like, I like the inspiration. It's super cute. If you've never tried Gourmand Cosmetics and you want something brighter for fall, then this can definitely be a good one. It's just, formula-wise, they weren't my favorites, so I don't see myself spending money on them anytime soon again. Then I think the biggest announcement in beauty happened at the start of the month when Tati dropped that she's starting a brush brand. So it's like, everybody's like, Tati is back, but Tati has been back for a while, I feel. I don't really watch her content anymore. So much of it is lives and then I'm not live, and like, especially if people are in the States, like I think lives can be really good for like getting engagement with your core audience. But the problem is that if people are in different time zones and they cannot participate, it's not interesting to watch those videos back. I've done it a couple of times when Jen Loves Reviews started making that her format for her content, and I just gave up on watching it because there's so much that you have to get through to watch most of the video that if you weren't there, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to watch it back afterwards once it's done. And because of the time difference, it just doesn't make a lot of sense for me to be watching that. I'm just not interested. So this, I think, for her makes sense. I don't need any new brushes anytime soon. If you love Tati, then maybe you want to get this, but I just think it's a little too late, actually. Too Faced has a really big new Christmas collection. Again, Too Faced is one of those brands that ever since the owners left, and they've been going into this really cutesy Y2K Gen Z sort of vibe. It's just not really my brand anymore. They seem to have like loads of different like sets for the holidays, which we'll see a lot of holiday sets in this video today. There's a blush palette of some sort. I don't know, it's all a little too cutesy for me. So this is an update that does make me happy. There is a new shade extension to the Rare Beauty blushes. There's going to be a bright pink, a mid-tone violet, and a warm chestnut. So the chestnut, I should say. So the mid-tone violet is going to be called Spirited, and that looks really pretty. I'm hoping it is the shade on the left in this image. It looks quite purpley, and this is something that I feel the Rare Beauty range is really missing, is like good cool tones. So if I manage to find this ever in store, then I might swatch it to see if I like it. Like, I'm really in my purple blush era at the moment, so this could be something, and I do really enjoy the Rare Beauty formula, and this is definitely something they didn't have. The other two shades really don't interest me at all. Like, I think the bright pink is supposed to be for my skin tone, but it looks pretty peachy in the packaging here in the image, so I'm not too sure. And the chestnut is definitely aimed at people with deeper skin tones than mine, so I will be passing up on those two shades. But Spirited, if I can find it and I can swatch it and it looks pretty, then I might actually want to test it out. Had I already talked about this? I don't know, but there's a new Halloween collection from Wet n Wild, the Fantasy Makers collection. That's what this is called. It comes with eyeshadow palettes, loads of different products. I cannot really get Wet n Wild very easily where I'm from, especially not limited editions and stuff. Like, the things I can get are the regular range. Like, if I want to get, like, what's it called? Walking on Eggshells, I think they still do that. Like, if I were to get something like this, I can find it. I think they're still on Beauty Bay. But Wet n Wild as a brand is just really difficult for me to get. But this looks fun. And this just is such a throwback to me, because I used to have a couple of really fun, bright, colorful things from Wet n Wild that were like pennies at the drugstore when I was in the US, and they worked a charm, like, especially when I wanted something that was a bit more rainbow heavy and I didn't want it to like be very expensive because color just wasn't really my thing. Wet n Wild was really good at it, so I hope these products are good too. And if you can get your hands on it, they definitely look interesting. If you're looking for, like, are these eyeshadows or liquid lipsticks? Like, they seem to do some pretty interesting things here. And I think that's fun, because we haven't had a lot of fun makeup in recent years, I find anyways. Then we have a new collab between NYX and Bridgerton. Are we already getting a new season then? I didn't think there was a new Bridgerton season coming anytime soon. I know Stranger Things is coming in November, I think, finally, after years. And this looks okay, I guess. It seems to come with 2 new highlighters, some lip products, some eyeliner, I think. Like, the image is a little bit small here. And then some blush duos. Pretty, yes. Did we need this? I don't think so, but if you love Bridgerton, you might be interested. This, I think, is a really clever limited edition collection from Catrice. I did not manage to see it in stores, so it may just have been an online-only thing, but they did an espresso-inspired limited edition collection. It's called the Espresso Yourself limited edition collection. I'm not really interested in a lot of limited editions from Catrice anymore. Same for Essence, and the main reason for it is that they usually end up putting the popular products from limited editions in different shades in their regular line, like the next time we get an update. I really sense that Essence and Catrice are using limited editions to test what the trends are and what people will be buying, so that when they decide what products need to go into the next update, you suddenly get those products. Like those soft glam blushes that we got, They were limited edition before, and now they put 4 of them in their regular range. So I definitely think that's how these brands operate. They use the limited editions to collections to just see what sells. And this one I had like completely missed, but I've now been sent this collection, at least what the palette I've been sent. This is the Gothic Romance from Unearthly Cosmetics. And I was like, Gothic Romance? What brand is that? When Monolith said they were going to send it to me. And I was like, oh, that looks pretty. But this is one of those palettes that's a little bit too matte heavy. So I'm going to test it out eventually and see how I feel. But it's each row with 4 mattes and then 1 shimmer each. And the shimmers you get are all quite dark. Not entirely sure I needed that in my life. This is not going to be something I think I'm going to keep in my collection long term. Like at face value, it doesn't look like something I might enjoy. It would not have been something I would have picked up with my own money, if that makes sense. Lethal has a new limited edition collection for the fall. This is in collaboration with The Conjuring, which is that new horror movie that is out as well. It seems to come with an eyeshadow palette and a couple of other products here. Lethal does some really good things. Like the eyeshadow palette looks quite interesting actually. I like this sort of blues with the reds and the browns and the different shimmers you get in there. I haven't bought from Lethal in a while, but yeah, I did put together a little like custom palette again for myself, and I selected Lethal eyeshadow there because the Lethal products I have are a lot of their single shadows. I used the build your own palette feature on the website quite a few times to make my own color stories, and let me tell you, Lethal does really good eyeshadow. So if you were looking to try them, then this may be your best bet to do it now if you also are into horror movies. I don't necessarily need this in my life, but Lethal Cosmetics is a solid brand. Then there is the announcement for the Gilded Nirvana holiday collection from Pat McGrath. This palette doesn't scream holiday to me. It's got quite a lot of bright blues in, but this is what Pat McGrath does every single year. There's always this limited edition eyeshadow palette that I think is actually pretty popular. It's usually a little bit more cost effective than getting the larger motherships, I find. So I think that's why it's like a beautiful gift to get for Christmas. Does this appeal to me? Is this something that I want to get in my life? Not necessarily. I think it also includes jewelry. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, Pat McGrath's new holiday collection is here in case you were interested. I'm currently not really in the market for anything here. Then Kiko has some new lipsticks out. This is the One Magic Touch lip stilo. I like the way they've marketed this, like it's a belt around someone who's like a cowboy or something. I do think it looks fun. But it says here official launch September 25th, so it just came out, and it says preview it now in select Milan stores. So none of the shades here truly interest me. I did pick up some new Kiko bits, which you'll see in an upcoming video, because I did find another lipstick formula that was new that I hadn't tried yet before. There's a new P. Louise palette. This is the Scary Tale Ending palette. It comes with 3 trays, so this is a chunky one. I've also seen some videos of this, and it's really bulky, which is usually the case with P. Louise, which is why it's not my favorite. But you get some purples and oranges, some like green tones, and then cool tones with reds. Very fall inspired. I think if you want a one-stop shop for all things fall, then this can be it. It's just, I've tried some P. Louise products in the past that people have gifted me, and they are never my favorite. I always find them a bit of a faff to use, and I don't think I would get the use out of this many shades in a single palette. I'd rather have something a little bit more curated. And then I think one of the biggest collab announcements in the past year has been this collab between Blend Bunny and May, I think she's called. May Croft, I think. She pops up on my TikTok from time to time. I've watched some of her YouTube videos. She's one of those super creative makeup artists who does the craziest looks, and she always makes it look wearable. I don't know how she does it, but she has this vibe, you could say. And therefore her palette also has a vibe. I think it's very her, not something I need. It's called Rotten, and she's taken inspiration from like what fungus and stuff looks like or mold and things. So it's very her. If you're super creative, I think you might like this. I think With the pictures I have here, it does look pretty matte heavy. And then there is a separate palette with like duochromatic shimmers. That's beautiful. If that's what you want to go for, I think that can be fun. For me, I think the palette is just a little too matte heavy, and I don't think I would get the use out of these shades. And the shades that I do like from it, I do already have in my collection. So I may actually be able to cobble something like this together by just putting a couple of my singles together in a different way, or by putting some palettes together in a single makeup look, and I'll probably get the same thing. Now, when I spotted this, it was an instant throwback. I used to have a couple of the melt stacks, and I've decluttered them all. They're bulky, they're difficult to use, and the magnets on the old packaging were so strong that it made your eyeshadow crack. Like it would just, like you would just stack them together and then poof, that's where the eyeshadow went. They have created the, what's this called? It's got split pans. Like, is this the whole thing? The 12th hour eyeshadow stack. It's $58 and it's limited edition. So I think, again, if you love your neutrals, you're probably going to love this. It seems to be, I don't think the shades here are from other palettes they've already done. I think it's a new palette, you could say. If you like stacks, again, if this is one of those makeup artistry sort of products, I feel. If you need to travel a lot with your makeup, then something like this can be super helpful, because you only have to carry around something that's like this big and you get 12 shades of eyeshadow. Makes it super easy to travel with. I think this is going to appeal to a lot of people who need to travel for work. And you all know I love my melt palettes. I really, really do. I think they have an excellent formula, but I don't need this in my life. There is a new collab with REM Beauty and Wicked. Ariana Grande is, of course, in the Wicked movie, so it makes sense then that her brand also does Wicked-inspired makeup. It seems to have a Glinda half and a, alphabet side to it. I was like, I watched a movie on the plane to Japan. I remember what these characters are called. Looks pretty. Do I need it? Not at all. But yeah, this just, from a collab perspective, it just makes sense. But with REM Beauty, I've tried products that I've really enjoyed, and there's also some products where I'm like, yeah, it's okay, but nothing too special. Then this one, I didn't really know what this was called because I couldn't read it very well on all of the imaging, but it's apparently called the Dark Dreamscape, and it's like a 50-50 split between some shades. This is by Bella Beauty Bar. Let me see, I think I have a different post coming up in a minute where I have the swatches and stuff as well. Let me see where that went. Oh, here it is. So here's what the color story actually looks like. It is actually beautiful. It's got blues, purples, these brighter pinks with some pops of orange. It does look incredibly dark. It seems to be like brighter shades on the one half and then the deeper shades on the other half. But yeah, this looks absolutely stunning. Do I need it in my life? No, but because this brand is on Monolith, it could very well be that Monolith ends up offering this to me. We very often get Bella Beauty Bar or like Blend Bunny or something like that offered to us as affiliates. So we'll see, because Monolith has just had their new launch this week. So this is going to take some time to get through their warehouse, and then they decide what we get or whether we can pick things ourselves. Then I found this Davini Beauty palette. This is supposed to drop soon. I don't know exactly when. This is the Sempre Viva by Davini Beauty. And this, again, if you love your warm tones, if you have deep skin, I think you're going to love this. This looks like a beautiful, beautiful palette. Not necessarily my color story, though. I would get the Dark Dreamscape by Bella Beauty Bar over this. There is a new eyeshadow palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills as well. This is the Embers palette, which is 2016 back. Like, is an orange a neutral again? Why is this such a throwback as well? Like, with the Melt stack and then this ABH palette, I really feel we're coming full circle, maybe because it's almost 2026. And it's like 10 years ago that 2016 was around, of course, but I really feel like we're coming full circle. I feel like the fun makeup is here again, the glam makeup is here again. I'm here for it. I really, really do, but I really hoped we could keep oranges in the past. They're not neutrals, people. They really aren't. Then we have another Gourmand Girls collab. This is just an announcement. By the time, or collab, just a new palette by them. This is coming October 2nd. So by the time you're watching this video, we will know what it looks like. But as I'm filming this, it's still the end of September, so we have no clue. I think this is called the Nevermore palette. So it seems a little Edgar Allan Poe, maybe Wednesday inspired. The packaging looks cool. Like, this is one where I'm like, I want to see what the color story is like, because this could be good. You know, could be good. I like this better than the Trapped. I do. I definitely do. Already, and I haven't even seen the color story. So I'm unsure whether I had already mentioned this or not, but this is the new Dior holiday limited edition collection. I'm seeing other things that I remember seeing in the past. Like that purpley tone palette looks pretty cool, but not something I need per se. The blushes look fine. Again, not something I need per se. It just seems like they've repackaged things that are already in the line and just slapped holiday packaging on it. I don't feel very inspired. This is something that was teased just recently from Fenty Cosmetica. They have a new collab palette coming out. This is all I have as we're speaking. But it's Fenty Cosmetica. You guys know about me. This is one of my favorite makeup brands, and that sort of spooky vibe, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. This looks like it's going to be something I would want to pick up for sure. Then there is a new release from Nomad Cosmetics. This is their Pacific Northwest. And this is something that they've been doing for a while, where they do these palettes inspired by American, like, wildlife, nature reserve parks sort of thing. And this is sort of, you know, the sort of Northwest where Twilight is set. I think Seattle when I see this. And this is beautiful. I'm like, this one, when I saw it, I was like, this is me. It's got some blues, some greens, some brown tones in that lean a little bit more warm toned. It's got some brighter pops of color. It's their 18 pan layout, which very often do 3 mattes, 3 shimmers, 3 mattes, 3 shimmers, which is what they seem to be doing here as well. I think I could like this. Here's the thing though, it looks too similar to things I already own. This is not going to add anything of value to my makeup collection, so I will be passing up on it, but it does look beautiful. There's a new makeup release from Nima, which is Nikki Tutorials brand. So it's a 4-pan sort of high shimmer palette, and I looked at this and I was like, I didn't really need that in my life. It's beautiful for sure, but I have so many of these sparkly, transforming kind of shades. I have them in my singles collection. I have them in palettes. Again, I do not need a dedicated palette with these sort of shifty shades to add a shifty shade to my makeup collection. If you have a lot of mattes, then maybe something like this can work. But this is why I like a blend of different mattes and shimmers in a different palette, because it just makes your palette a lot more versatile if you do have both options. So this, I don't know what's going on with this, but this was pushed to me. Like, I was scrolling Instagram and I saw 3 posts by this brand. I'm pretty sure it was an ad. It's called Shades of London. I don't know, and they have these 3 palettes. It seems to be like a neutral, a cool tone, and a warm tone palette. They seem to be all mattes. For some reason, it's giving Patrick Ta. Like, that's the first thing I thought of when I looked at these. I mean, they look okay. Not something that I need in my life. It doesn't say anything about how expensive these are. They're promoting it as if this is like a new, exciting sort of launch. I don't know, if I put this next to like what Natasha Denona also does, I would probably go for the Natasha Denona rather than this, because that's a brand I know. But yeah, I don't know anything about this brand save for that it just suddenly popped up on my Instagram, and I was like, oh, that looks like a new thing. And this I thought was fun to actually mention. This is by Ilia, and it's a new, is it an eyeshadow palette? I think it is. Limited edition all-in-one face palette even. Oh, so it's not just eyeshadow, it's face. But I looked at this and I was like, Marc Jacobs? Is that you? Because this really reminds me of Marc Jacobs Beauty. That brand is no longer around, of course. Were they gonna come back? What happened there? I don't know. But yeah, this is just really giving me Marc Jacobs kind of vibes when I saw this. But it's apparently a face palette. They could be creams. blurring powders. No, it's powders. Okay. So it's highlights, blush, bronze, and highlight. The shades really don't interest me. It comes in 3 different depths, so this is aimed at different skin tones, but not something I need. And then this I thought was fun. This was again pushed as well. This is a new release from Rival. Rival Hearts Me, which is their Moon Shadow collection. If you're in Germany, this can be fun. They do a 15 pan eyeshadow palette that looks stunning, and it's apparently only $4.99. I've tried some of these Rival palettes. They're usually not the best, and I feel they can be okay, like if you're really, really a beginner in makeup and you really don't want it to break the bank and you just want something that's gonna go into your lids and you don't really care about formulas, it can be nice. It seems to come with like one of those like blushes that is like rose petals in a palette that looks stunning as well. I just thought that this looked fun and quirky and just something I hadn't seen a lot. And the palette does look gorgeous. I'm just questioning whether the pigment is going to be there. But it looks beautiful. If it is as intense as the palette makes it look like, then I think it can be a nice thing. Charlotte Tilbury has announced her like Christmas setup. And Charlotte Tilbury as a brand does a lot for Christmas. These are sets and there's face palettes and there is just too much. Is there such a thing as too much? Yes, there is. Does this look beautiful? Yes. Does Charlotte Tilbury have good sales, especially around Black Friday sales? Yes, they definitely do. I think they're one of the brands who does some of the best sales for Black Friday. I'm not sure if they are currently still the best, but when I was shopping from them, they definitely were. And for a while there, it was like one of the tried and true brands that I would look out for Black Friday sales every single time. I've just fallen out of love a little bit with Charlotte Tilbury. I just don't feel that a lot of the shades necessarily go with my complexion. I still want to try Pillow Talk Fair, but once I get my hands on that, that's pretty much it for me and my love affair with Charlotte Tilbury for a while to come. Everything just started looking the same. There is a new limited edition collection from Essence again. It seems to be donut inspired. I don't know. It doesn't have a name here. I just have this video. Does it look pretty? Yes. I have already mentioned how I feel about Essence and Catrice limited editions. So I don't need this in my life. And then there is the Fenty drop. Fenty is another one of those brands that does a lot of sets for Christmas. So this is just a quick video where they showcase some products. There seem to be some new lip things. If you want to try Fenty, maybe now's the time. I don't know. Maybe you've never tried them before. I do really enjoy a good Fenty lip product, though. So this is a way for you to test out some more things, I guess. I think there's skin, and there's lips, and there's loads of different things here. So that could be something. It's the limited edition holiday glow up collection. Yeah, so they have a lot of new stuff. And then Victoria Beckham has a new drop as well. This is the Cocoa Collection set. It's a limited edition set that has the eye wardrobe in cocoa. It's a new palette with buttery, soft, multi-finish shadows. Does that mean that the smoky eye bricks are gone? I don't know. I think a mascara in brown in the cocoa shade and the satin kajal in Cocoa Pave, which is a new cool brown with silver sparkle. That has me excited. And the Satin Kajal eyeliner in Cocoa, which is the eyeliner that started it all, it says here. Cocoa is a great shade. It's an iconic shade in the Victoria Beckham line. The Satin Kajal eyeliners Victoria Beckham is one of my standout products by that brand. I've tried a lot by them, and they're just great. It's like, together with Kiko, it's like the best thing for like eyeliner, if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for good pencil eyeliner, Victoria Beckham is where it's at. Then there is a new palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics. This is the Black Cherry palette. And then I look at it and it's not cherry and it's not black. It's just a lot of browns with pinks and purples and greens. So not entirely sure why this is called the Black Cherry palette. However, even though I think the name is a bit wrong for the shades we get, it is beautiful, and I think this is going to be especially beautiful for people with a deeper skin tone. This is screaming to be put on like medium to deep skin with a warm undertone, I feel. So if that's you, this can be for you. It's not going to be for me for sure. And then this is something that randomly popped up on my For You page on Instagram. I never heard of this brand, but the packaging looks interesting. The shades look interesting. This is the, what is this brand called again? Little Ondine? Trip of Dream Art Collection. It's available apparently on the Look Healthy store. I've never seen this, but the packaging, can we just take a minute? Like, is elaborate packaging back again? Because that could be a good thing. So I'm just finding this. I'm just quickly giving it a last scroll to make sure this video is as complete as possible. But this was announced 3 hours ago, and it's the new Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette in Nature. I have 2 of the Ethereal Eyes palettes, and I think after doing a cool toned one, it only makes sense that he now does a more warm toned one. It still looks pretty neutral if I look at the swatches on fair skin. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I love the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes formula. This looks beautiful. There is this like goldeny olive kind of shade in. But here's the thing, because it is this warm toned, I don't think I will be picking up, even though I think it looks absolutely beautiful. So yeah, that's a really, really stunning release for sure. That's the only last like super new thing that I'm being pushed here on Instagram right now. So that's all I can share with you today. Thank you so very much for watching. Thumbs up this video if you do enjoy it. I will be back with a new makeup releases video in November. And of course, I will be including anything that I've missed if it is announced in the next week or so before this video goes live. But yeah, sometimes I just, you know, I'm working throughout the rest of the week. So if I'm also gone for part of the week, then there's nothing much I can do. But yeah, I will be back with a new video very, very soon. And then I really hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.